is Deaunna Mitchell. Thank you for joining me today. I want to speak with everyone today about stopping in your storm. I've probably mentioned this before, but I felt the need to mention it again. Don't stop in your storm. What do I mean by don't stop in your storm? Let me tell you a story. There was a young lady who used to drive around a lot. She drove around a whole lot, all over the place. And in the middle of a storm, she got into a car accident. Well, because she was in the middle of the storm during her accident, anytime she drove now, she was very nervous. She was very scary. I mean, you understand how this can be when you drive during a storm and, you know, you have a car accident, you get a little nervous behind the wheel. Well, she was driving with her father one day, and they were driving into a storm. And as they were driving along, the storm got worse. The rain got heavier. And the young lady, she got nervous. She was like, well, Dad, I'm going to pull over. He's like, no, keep driving. And she's like, but Dad, the storm's getting kind of bad. You know, I'm going to pull over. He's like, no, keep driving. So she does what her dad says. Being a daddy's girl, she does what her dad says. And she keeps driving. Well, as she's driving, it gets worse. The sky starts getting darker and the rain starts getting heavier, and even the cars in front of her are starting to shift over and park. And she's like, Dad, I'm really gonna pull over now. The storm's getting really bad. He's like, no, keep driving. And she's really starting to get frustrated. She's like, no, Dad, you don't understand. The storm is getting really bad. You see that the cars parked on the side of, like, we're passing up cars on the side of the road. He's like, just do what I say and keep driving. So she keeps driving, and she keeps driving. The storm gets worse as she's going. But listening to her father, she keeps driving. And as she keeps driving, she notices that a little further ahead of her, the sky seems to start to clear. The storm seems to let up. And eventually she drives out of the storm. And at this point, her father tells her, okay, pull over. So after pulling over, she looked over at her dad and she was like, Daddy, I was nervous. You knew I had the car accident. Why did you make me drive through the storm? And he was like, look behind you. And when she turned to look behind her, she saw the car still stuck in their storm. And he said, now look ahead of you. Clear skies and sunshine. He said, if you would have stayed, if you would have parked, you would have been in the storm longer than you had to be. Ladies and gentlemen, I come to you today and I'm begging you to don't stop in your storm. Stopping in your storm causes you to stay in your storm longer than you have to and longer than what is necessary. And what do I mean by don't stop in your storm? Our storms are anything in our lives that hit us and they seem so much to where we want to just stop in the middle of them. Those are the storms you keep moving. You do not stop. Because when you stop in your storm, you stay in your storm. And when you stay in your storm, you end up missing the sunlight and the blue skies. Let me give you an example of staying in your storm. When you grow up following the examples that were placed before you. So you do everything that these examples showed you. And these examples could be anything. These examples could be friends, they could be family, they could be parental units. These things could be teachers, they could be anything. But you follow these examples. You do exactly what these examples say, but you're doing things that cause you to hit bumps in the road. You're doing things that aren't quite as pleasing to you. So you shift. And you start doing things that you're passionate about and that you love. And in the process of doing this, you realize that you keep hitting wall after wall after wall after wall. Those walls are your storms. Antonio tells us that when you move, you know you're moving, because the opposite happens to you when you're moving. So when you're moving forward towards what you need, you're going to get the opposite of that. When you're moving towards what you want, you're going to get the opposite of that. That opposite, that's your storm. Fear is your storm. Worry is your storm. Stress is your storm. Don't stop in your storm. You keep moving. Just like the dad told the little girl, no, keep driving. You gotta keep moving. When you hit that wall, when you hit that storm, you don't stop, because your sunshine and your blue skies are right on the other side of that. How do you not stop in your storm? It's quite easy. You just keep moving. And I know that's easier said than done. Trust me, I know. I understand. It's easier said than done. It's completely easier said than done. But it is easy to do. How do you not stop in your storm? By putting one foot in front of the other and you keep moving. How do you not stop in the storm? You reach out and you ask for help. How do you not stop in the storm? You find someone who's doing the same thing that you want to do and you follow their path. Because I'm sure they've hit storms and they've gotten through. How do you not stop in your storm? You let your passion for what you're doing be stronger than your storm. Don't stop in your storm, because stopping in your storm is staying in your misery longer than you have to. Stopping in your storm is being rained on, being flooded out, not being able to move forward, not being able to see in front of you. But if you really think about it, look at how you drive at night on the darkest of the darkest roads. Can you actually see in front of you if it wasn't for your headlights? And even then, your headlights only shine 200 feet in front of you. Yet, you don't stop in the dark. Apply the same concept to your storm. You can only see so far in front of you, but you keep moving because you have faith that those headlights are going to stay working and keep moving and keep you going forward and keep you being able to see 200 feet ahead of you at a time. And every minute is an extra 200 feet. And every mile is an extra 200 feet until you get to your destination. Apply that same concept to your storms. When you hit a storm, believe within you that you're going to get through the storm, and you keep moving. Even though you cannot see past the storm, you keep moving. One foot at a time, one foot in front of the other. Read books to help you through your storms. What I mean, read books to help me through my storms. What's a book gonna do with my storms? Okay, look, let me explain to you. We have a certain mindset when we go into our storms. The same mindset that got us into that storm cannot get us out of that storm. So you have to change how you think in order to get out of that storm. It's not easy because you have years and years and years of compounded, unintentional, intentional learning and building that is within you. And it's in there and it's solidified and it's like just there, like nothing can change it. But when you read and you educate yourself and you stretch your mindset and you raise your ceiling on your thinking, you'll be able to take another step while you're in that storm. Personal growth and personal development is a storm in itself Because once you start, you're consistently in a storm because you're consistently battling the storms of what used to be versus the storms of what you want. So don't stop there. Keep moving because it's not easy. It's going to hurt. Because while in the storm, you're literally washing away everything that holds you back. But you can't stay in your storm too long because you remain in a place of indecision and you remain in a place of uncertainty and you remain in a place that's just a flat line of your life. Life is a heartbeat. You're gonna have your ups, you're gonna have your downs. But don't stay in your downs, don't stay in your storms. Why drown yourself in your misery when you can just put one foot in front of the other and keep going? How else do you not stop in your storm? Like I said, you find friends that are willing to be in that storm with you and help you through and motivate you. Hey D, did you get it done? Hey D, what you doing? Hey D, keep moving. Hey Lisa, come on, let's go over here. Hey Lisa, are you having a bad day today? Come on, talk to me. Let it out. Don't hold it in. Your friends will help pull you through these storms. They'll be the dad in the passenger side that tells you to keep moving forward. When you're ready to park, they're the dad sitting next to you saying, don't stop, keep moving. You're going to need that. You're going to need someone who is on your side, telling you, don't stop, keep moving. Because if you stay in your storm, you may be there by yourself. Because being in your storm is a lonely place. Your friends are moving through the storm. They can only take you so far. You have to want to be out of your storm. So that's why I keep telling you, don't stop in your storm. Because you'll lose the friends that you're supposed to have. And you'll be stuck with the friends who enjoy playing in the rain. Keep moving. Don't stop in your storm. How else do you not stop in your storm? You find someone who's been through your storm. You find someone who's been through your storm and did not stop and made it through. You find someone who's been through your storm, maybe stopped a couple of times so they can tell you, no, you don't want to stop, because if you stop, this is what will happen because you'll be in there too long. Yeah. Find someone who's been there, done that, got out of their storm, and is parked on the side looking at the ones behind them like, man, I wish they would just keep moving. Find someone who's going to guide you through the storm. Because while you may not be able to see in front of you, they already know what's ahead. So they can tell you, no, keep going. When you want to say, no, I just want to pull over and park, you're going to say, no, just keep going. I know what's there, keep going. You don't want to stay here. I'm going to give you a prime example. I was driving around with Antonio because we had an event that we needed to go to. And he said the most profound thing to me, and it stuck with me. I had turned the wrong way. And I was going to keep going to see if it looped around. And he stopped me. He said, no, why are you still going in the wrong direction? I was like, well, I was just going to turn around and go. He said, no. He said, let me explain to you why. He said, it takes you longer to get back on your path when you go in the wrong direction. Once you realize that you're on the wrong path, stop, turn around, go back, and get back on your path quicker. It's the same as don't stop in your storm. If you stop in your storm, you stay in your misery longer. Whereas once you realize you're in a storm, and you're like, oh no, that's a storm over there, let me go this way, you're still moving forward. Find someone who has done what you are doing and got through it so they can help you through your storm. Ladies and gentlemen, why am I speaking to you today about not stopping in your storm? Because I've stopped in my storm before. I've stopped in my storm on several occasions. So I'm not telling you something that I have not been through myself. I've stopped in my storm and I've spent months and years getting flooded out, trying to save everything from the rain, and I just stopped and I sat in my storm and I watched it get worse and worse and worse. I'm telling you this story because I understand how it is to sit in your storm. I understand how it is to not keep moving through your storm. But I'm also talking to you because I also understand how it is to not stop in my storm, to keep moving through my storm, and to sit on the other side of that storm. I've been in my car and I've turned and I've looked back and I've seen those that are still parked in the storm that I just drove through. So I just want to let you know, guys, don't stop in your storm. Keep moving. If you have to slow down so you can see better because the rain is hitting so hard, okay, slow down just a little, not a lot. And Tony always tells us sometimes you have to slow down to speed up. So slow down just a little so you can see, but don't stop. My name is Deaunna Marie Mitchell, and I come to you humbly today asking you, don't stop in your storm. Thank you.
To Making Money Fast with Grace Sandles. I'm going to show you different ways how you can make money fast. I know a lot of times we get in a tight, and by tight I mean money is tight, and you're kind of running out, you're a little low, and you say, you know what, I need to make some fast, quick money. You want to make it the legal way. Here are some tips. Number one, drive with Uber. As a driving partner with Uber, you are an independent contractor. And what that means is you create your own schedule and you work as little or as much as you want. Now, to calculate how much you earn, there's a base fare, and you add that to the time and distance traveled after your pickup, after your passengers that you pick up, and then Uber will charge a service fee. So this is how you calculate how much you will earn in that time. The requirements for driving with Uber. You must be at least 21 years old and have at least 1 year of licensed driving experience in the United States. Now, if you are under the age of 23, you must have at least 3 years of licensed driving experience. You must have a valid U.S. driver's license and pass a background check. Yes, pass the background check. That's awesome. You must do that. Also, your car must be a 4-door car and must seat at least 4 passengers, not including the driver. And you must be registered in-state and be covered with in-state insurance. So whatever state you are in, I live in Texas. So in order to drive with Uber, I must have a 4-door car. I must be able to seat at least 4 people, not including myself. And I must have a Texas driver's license along with insurance. This is how the requirements you must have to drive with Uber. Uber is one of the quickest ways to make money, one of the fastest ways to make money, one of the easiest ways to make money. If you are an extrovert and you like driving, go drive for Uber. Even if you're an introvert but you like driving, go drive for Uber to make some money fast. You don't necessarily have to talk to the passengers. Why? Because once you go and pick up the passenger, you already know where they're going because the phone told you where you're going where you're going to pick the passenger up and where you're taking the passenger. If you do love talking to the passenger, it makes the time go by quicker. You can ask them what they like, where they're going, why they're going there. Are they here for business? Are they here for pleasure? Anything that you can think of, driving with Uber will help you out to make money fast. Again, you are a licensed contractor. You can work as little or as much as you would like. As the more you work, the more money you earn. The less you work, the less money you earn. So it all depends on how much money you intend to earn. With that, this is Making Money Fast with Grace Sandles. See you at the top and not from the top.
Hello and welcome to ATS Week. I am the double certified Reverend Bryant A. Johnson, and today I come to you and I want to talk to you about how to overcome pride. At first glance, being prideful may appear as a strength. In truth, pride is synonymous with self-praise, self-importance, which means prideful people may have difficulty seeing their own shortcomings. If you're prideful, you may view yourself as being better than others. In the end, pride can ruin relationships and stomp self-growth. Overcome your pride by acknowledging this bad habit, eliminating self-consciousness, and replacing it with humility. John C. Maxwell quoted, "The point is that each person's pride is in competition with everyone else's pride. It is because I want to be the big noise at the party that I am so annoyed at someone else being the big noise." Now, what you want to get clear is the pride is essentially competitive. It's competitive by its very nature, while the other vices are competitive only, so to speak, by accident. Pride gets no pleasure out of having something, only out of having more of it than the next man. We say that people are proud of being rich or clever or good looking, but they are not. They are proud of being richer or clever or better looking than others. If everyone else became equally rich or clever or good looking, there will be nothing to be proud about. It is the comparison that makes you proud, the pleasure of being above the rest. Now, let's talk about pride. I have about 5 points here. I have 5 points here for you about pride. And then in our next episode, or our next video, we're gonna talk about how to deal with pride. Right now, we're talking about how to overcome pride. And your first point is acknowledging your pridefulness. Be accountable. If you are a prideful person, you may have trouble accepting your faults. And anyway, everyone has some difficulty taking ownership for their faults. You might deny responsibility because the act of being wrong doesn't align with your self-concept. But admitting your fault is not a weakness. It's simply a part of being human. Listen, learn to admit the mistake and apologize. Rectify the wrong. Simply say, "This was my mistake." Doing so will help you retain relationships and maybe even benefit your personal growth. Excuse me. C.L. Lewis says about acknowledging pride, "If anyone would like to acquire humility, I think, tell him the first step. The first step is to realize that one is proud. And a bigger step too, at least nothing can be done before it. If you think you're not conceited, it means you are very conceited indeed. Point 2, lose the defensiveness. In a way, excessive pride places you on a shaky ground because you're always fearful of losing favor or status. Because of this instability, you might be quick to defend. Defensiveness makes you appear inflexible and insecure. It also shuts down the lines of communicating. Instead of jumping to defensiveness, pause. Don't follow your instincts, which are to defend. Take deep breaths. Agree to a degree by saying yes and. This is preferable to saying yes, but, which comes off as very defensive. Then try to work with the other person to brainstorm an effective solution that doesn't jeopardize the relationship. Do your best to develop a curious attitude and a take in others' point of view. Work on accepting criticism as a learning experience. Taking things personally make it difficult to reflect and improve. Number 3, practice mindfulness. Mindfulness always allows you to slow down and connect with the present moment. Mindfulness brings awareness to your thoughts and can help you notice your prideful thoughts and reactions. When you lack being mindful, your pride allows you to display a form of selfishness that is uninviting. Excuse me. You can activate mindfulness during times when your pride is in control. For example, you feel intimidated by a coworker who is doing an outstanding job. You might slow down and tune into your thoughts and feelings. Remember, you don't have to see others' success as intimidation. Let me repeat that. You don't have to see others' success as intimidation. Think of ways you can learn from the person instead. It can help to celebrate the other's success. Number 4, and I love number 4, it says laugh at yourself. There's an old saying that says, blessed are they that laugh at themselves, for they shall never cease to be entertained. Once you begin to look for the humor in your behavior and situation, you'll find it everywhere. Prideful people take themselves way too seriously. By laughing at yourself, you begin to see how absurd we can all be sometimes. The book I love to read and read more often than others said, laughter is good for the soul. There was a study done, and the results said that it takes less muscles to smile than it does to frown. The great philosopher Kirk Franklin says, you look so much better when you smile. So laugh at yourself. And number 5, bringing it together. If your pride pushes you towards performing with excellence, doing your best, and finding the joy in the accomplishments of others, it's probably helping you become a better leader. But if there's even a hint of competition or self-promotion in it, it's probably having a negative effect on your relationships that can hurt both your life and your leadership. If that's true, do what I try to do. Shift my focus onto others and follow the tips above. There you have it, how to overcome pride. Thank you for joining us for ATS Week. Catch you next time.